Taiwan's president has formally labelled China a foreign hostile force and ramped up national security measures in the face of growing threats and a string of spying cases. The new measures announced on Thursday include a controversial proposal to restore a military court system in Taiwan, which was under martial law until the late 1980s. He added that tougher measures are needed to counter Chinese efforts to weaken the island's defences, citing recent incidents that fall into a grey area of psychological warfare, short of armed conflict. Lai said that according to the government data, 64 people were charged for Chinese espionage last year, 3 times more than 2021. He said the majority were current or former military officials. The president proposed 17 legal and economic countermeasures, including a strict review of Taiwan's visits or residency applications by Chinese citizens, and proposals to resume the work of the military court. Here's what the Taiwanese president said.
消灭中华民国的野心没有一天改变过，不仅仅持续文攻武吓，对台湾社会的统战渗透 也愈来愈严重。从2005年，中国颁布所谓的反分裂国家法，把武力并吞台湾视为国家任务；到去年6月，发布所谓的惩毒22条，将所有不接受台湾是中华人民共和国一部分的所有人，都视为惩。
In response, the Chinese minister said,
首先啊，台湾是中国的一部分，没有什么总统。你提到的呢，也不是一个外交问题。我可以告诉你的是，不管民进党当局说什么，都改变不了台湾是中国一部分的事实，改变不了祖国必然统一的。
We are once again joined by Dr. Satoru Nagao to discuss this subject further. Dr. Nagao, we've seen the Chinese Chinese-Taiwan tensions rise every single day with planes and vessels approaching the island. Why has this incident specifically led the president to label China as a foreign and hostile force?
Because China believes making pressure to Taiwan change the public opinion in Taiwan, and these people accept China's sovereignty and try to stay peacefully with China under the Pax Chinese. But that's not happen, many people believe, because China is democratic and indeed actual independent country. So that's why even if China say this is part of China, but real situation is Taiwan is act as an independent country. So that's why there is a gap between the perception between the Chinese government and the real actual situation. So that's why China is a little frustrated, and they try to making pressure very strongly, and Taiwan is resisting also because Taiwan's will is relatively strong.
Dr. Nagao, how do these statements and new security measures reflect Taiwan's broader strategy to handle this increasing pressure from Beijing?
Yes, because of the language, because of the business connectivity between China and Taiwan, there is a space China can infiltrate to the Taiwan society. So that's why there are the pro-China people in Taiwan, that's true. But, and some other spy, that's also true. So that's why how to deal with the spy is very important, maintain their independence. So Taiwan try to deal with it. But for a long time, because of the global free trade economy, Taiwan's business is very strongly connected with the Chinese mainland. So that's why now, because of the rising tension, Taiwan need to leave from the China's mainland. And so one by one, step by step, Taiwan government try to deal with situation which creates a gap, space, Chinese infiltrate, Chinese government agent infiltrated Taiwan. And at the same time, view from the Taiwanese government, Taiwanese people who believe they are independent, they want to decouple with China if possible. And this is welcome move for view from Japan and United States, I think.
What does reinstating the military court system imply for Taiwan's governance and civil military relations?
Indeed, that is a little bit difficult to explain technically, but at the same time, indeed, there are some spy incidents in the military of Taiwan. That even if the relatively high level of the intelligence unit or high level of the armed commanding officers, we can find some spies. And Taiwan's government find spies in their organization. That is true. So spy of China in this case. So that's why there is no language barrier between two countries and relatively easy to infiltrate. That's true. So that's why how to find this kind of the agent of the China, or how to cut the relation between two is indeed a very tough situation the Taiwan government need to deal with. So one by one they try to do it, and this is one of the steps, I think.
Dr. Nagao, how have neighbouring countries, especially those in Southeast Asia and the Indo-Pacific, responded to these escalation of tensions? And also, what kind of role might the close ally of Taiwan, the United States and other Western allies, play in light of Lai's pointed rhetoric and China's forceful response?
Since the Trump administration was in the first beginning of the February, the United States sent the B-1 bomber to conduct a joint exercise with the Philippines. So that is a message, is the situation related to Taiwan. Because sending B-1 bomber is always a tool to send a political message in the Indo-Pacific region. For example, the North Korea developed nuclear weapon, and some things, the political statement needed, conducting joint exercises with Japan and South Korea with B-1 of the United States. So same thing has happened in the South China Sea with the Philippines and Japan in the sea around or air around Taiwan. That is sending message to China. Any places of the Chinese city can be the target by using the bombers. So, and Japan is well coordinated with the U.S. Military forces to support Taiwan now. For example, the political statement, joint statement between the two leaders in February, President Trump and Prime Minister Ishiba of Japan conclude this joint statement. This joint statement clearly mentions two governments support Taiwan to join the international organization. And so that is the first time the two countries clearly support Taiwan's stance in the international stage. So that is a changing point. So, and recently, U.S. State Department removed the sentence that the U.S. will not support Taiwan's independence. That is another message. So one by one, gradually, we are changing the statement to make pressure to China. If the China invade Taiwan or blockade Taiwan, we will reply. That is a message.
Yes.
So, but gradually, not too strong. Too strong is to push too much is not a good situation. But gradually, we are stepping up to support Taiwan, and that is a political message to China to not invade Taiwan.
Dr. Satoru Nagao, one final question. How are ordinary Taiwanese citizens responding to these heightened security concerns? And how do you think they're going to be reacting to this rhetoric and this constantly escalating thing going on there?
Yes, in this case, there is a gap of perception between China and Taiwan, I believe. Chinese government believes that making pressure will create something good situation for China, which is Taiwanese people accept peaceful unification with China's mainland. But reality is completely opposite. Because China gathers Air Force or Navy around Taiwan and try to show the blockade to Taiwan. that kind of situation, the Taiwanese people strongly resist, and their patriotic mind is rising, and they try to resist it. So that's why the current leader of Taiwan won the election, even if he is he strongly supports independence of Taiwan in the past. So because of this, China escalates their activities, and the Taiwanese people gather and create a strong mind against China. That is happening in this region. So that's why what happened is something like that. And Japan and the US and cooperate with the Philippines. We are preparing to support Taiwan. So that's why China's dream is to invade Taiwan. Is not easy to achieve, I believe. But before the 2027, which Xi Jinping need to achieve something special to continue as a leader of China, they are preparing. The rising tension in this region is true, and indeed the situation is not favorable for China now.
Thank you very much, Dr. Satoru Nagao, for joining us on that discussion. We move now